So far looks good. Question mark, Barry, Musa, Iki. These are three question marks for tomorrow. All the other players are available.
Is there any temptation not to risk Barry Bannon for the rest of these final games, given that he's had injuries this year and he is somebody who presumably the club would like to keep healthy?
Yeah, of course, but when I see him, he works very hard that he come back, he wants to play, and I think it's a good signal. He looks so far good on the pitch. This is then about tomorrow, what we do. Yeah, you said this before, we have 4 more games. But my captain want to be ready, and this is a good signal.
Will you take a further look at any players? Charlie McNeil came on in the last game. Do you have a further look at people like that? Are there any younger players, perhaps in the academy, that you give opportunities to end the season?
I don't think so. I think with Gabe, Charlie, Olaf, Piers, I think there are some players, they need also some minutes. I think they deserve them, and hopefully I can give them some more minutes. I think for Charlie he was really waiting for the first appearances in their own stadium. It was good for him, and hopefully I can give him more minutes now in the last final games.
What's been the message to the players as you try and finish the season off in the right way?
Yeah, I always try to speak a little bit in a story. I compared our situation with a good movie. When you watch a movie, then that you stay on the TV, it must be exciting. I think our start in the season was exciting, and always a good movie finished with a happy end or something like this. The big happy end we will not have, but I think we want to finish the season really well, and this is the reason what we want to do, what I demand. And was a normal week. We have 3 meetings, we prepared, we looked back, we spoke about basics, and this is all these things what we should do in the final four games. I think this is when you look at the moment a little bit back, then you will say 2-3 more wins, then we are in a fantastic positions. When you compare this is not maximum 10% from a season. This is this small bit at the moment, this small piece, but it is what it is. And now we have 4 more games, and for these 4 more games we want to try everything. We want to win, we want to play good football, we want to play our style of football, and we want to take points, and this is everything what we should do.
When you look at the last couple of home games against Oxford and Hull, you've had a lot of shots. Your XG is still towards the top end of the championship table. In those 2 games specifically, what has prevented you from getting goals, do you think? Turning the shots and the opportunities into actual goals?
I think and this was our big topic this week, when you come, I think we had 28 touches in the opponent box, and Oxford just 11, but you had just 2 shots on target, and this is then 2 less. 2 shots on target from 15 opportunities, it's 2 less, and I think this is what we have to improve. At the moment you have the feeling the opponent need 5 shots for 1 goal, and we need 15-16 opportunities to come in the box, but we have just 2 shots on target, and I think this is a big part. Look back to the chances, take the chance from Musa in the first half, second post, not on target, Svante, second half, not on target, all these things, and then you cannot win games. And then of course this kind of teams, and the teams in the championship, they have always a chance to score. They have different ways. Some teams second ball, some teams set pieces, some teams have good combination. But when you control 70 minutes a game, but the outcome is then not a goal, then there comes a moment where the opponent go in such a game and take something. And I think this is a little bit hard, but this is also part of our process.
And defending set pieces, I just wonder, can you recall any of your experience when you've been at places like Bayern and Germany? What is the difference between quality team, technically gifted, can also do those those gritty areas, that sort of heading the ball away, getting the ball away, compared to maybe at the minute conceding too many when the ball comes into the box?
Yeah, I think we have just to look back to yesterday. In a quarter-final Champions League, set piece decided the game. Inter Milan scored 2 times, Munich 1 time. You have this is a big part. I think the teams are better and better in the offense. There are more tools, more weapons. And I think when we look to our conceded goals, it's about man marking. It's about right body position. It's about hold the line in the right moment, be connected. At the moment, we have some conceded goals with the first contact. We worked on it. Then we had problems with the second and third wave. We worked on it, and now we are back. The best thing is you have not so many set pieces against you, and it means try to force the opponent away from your goal, and this was a big topic this week as well. We have too many situations where we go not in 2 against 1 situation in the defense. We don't double up. We have not the front foot defending mentality. Sometimes we are too scared to overplay, and this is what I showed the team, especially today again. That I want to have a team who's on front foot and he's brave, and we go into duels and we go into counter pressing, and this is in the big picture. In 11 against 11 on the match day, you see it, but also just behaviors in some small-sided games that we are too passive, and this is what we have to improve. And I'm convinced if we do in the next 2 games 2 good performances against the ball, very sharp, very good connected, committed, good distance, compact, then we have a good chance. If not, then maybe we play against a nice football, it looks nice, but we will not get results.
So is the key aggression, concentration, having that bit of bravery? Is that what it's about, whatever level you're at? That's what you need.
It's also in intensity. How you sprint, how you go in the duel. You can be on your man, but if you are always 3-4 meters away, and you just escort him, and you look and you go not in a duel, then it's hard. To take something, and I think exactly these 2-3 meters we need in the duels, and this is what I want to see, that we play with high aggressivity in the duels.
Finally, with Stoke, I think it was your first away win last season, was it Stoke? Have you got any good memories of that, and what do you expect in this game?
I think we worked very hard last year to come to a first away win. This year we play more away than home. We take more points. I think there was a last minute to win with a good combination after second ball. I think Musa Gasten played through the lines, and then we scored. It was a big booster for us that we saw last year, that we can take something. And then I think also the game in the December was a tough one. With the red card, then we scored, then a pen against us, a big save from James. Wow, what a game. And tomorrow I think we will have a nearly sold out stadium. The atmosphere will be fantastic. We have a team, they need points to make the final step, and from our side we want to win, and we want to continue our good away performance.
Thanks for your time, Danny.
Thank you, Rob. See you. Bye bye.
Danny, in the afternoon. How's it going?
Hey, Alex.
On the injuries, are they sort of ones that are an issue for
recording
tomorrow, or are they maybe longer term? Or?
No, for tomorrow maybe. I think Barry is very close. This is then the decision today or tomorrow morning to make the final decision. We will take then an extra man, of course, to the game. Iki got a knock in the training. Let's see how it is about overnight, and Musa had some problems during the week with the ankle. And this is then decision making for me, who is then 100% fit, who can go, but it's more short term than long term.
Yeah, sure. You spoke after the game on Saturday about some players and where you are in the league and the lack of jeopardy. Is that something that you feel that, you know, this is a club that the last 4 seasons have all gone down to the last day, you know, be that relegation or promotion? Is that something that you felt, you know, outside of a match day?
Yeah, I must say, when I look again this week, sometimes you can think, oh, the atmosphere is very flat, but today also the training, they are sharp, yeah, they like to play football, all these things. And what we not should do is to make everything bad. I think even against Oxford we played 70 minutes, from my view of point, a good football game. Yeah, you saw a lot of good things, but it's not enough to win football games. And this is what I mean. This last percentage, this is sometimes what I miss, yeah. And this is also about be clinical in front of a goal. Or I spoke about go in duels. Yeah, it's not enough in this league or in every league. You cannot stay 3-4 meters away from the opponent when you receive the ball. You have to go in the duels, and these things I want to see. And I think this is not magic. I saw a lot of good things, but yeah, a lot of good things was not enough. And then, of course, yeah, we have to be critical to ourselves. And I'm critical with me, with the players, but I see on the other side as well what we did this season, and I think this is also part of the story.
How do you go about keeping that energy up? Because the next 3 teams, you know, have a lot riding on their last 4 games, and frankly Wednesday don't. So is this in stuff that you say? You know, how do you go about that?
I prepare my team like usual. Yeah, I always prepare my team how we win. We have always a match plan. We train on habits during the weeks. We train on things what we have to improve. There's not one moment where you have the feeling here, oh, now they are off and they do nothing. No, sometimes the opposite way. I do more, yeah, and try and be on front foot, yeah. One thing you can believe, I'm not in the holiday at the moment. I'm really hard working again and again because I want to win games and I want to prepare my team as best as possible. But I know, especially in this tight games then, when you face an opponent, they are fighting for something and you play 70 good minutes and then there comes a moment, then the resilience could be a little bit less than maybe when you fight for something. Yeah, but to come to this point, it's about us. If you score 2 times against Oxford, why not? You will win this game, I'm convinced, because you control it. Yeah, but in some moments we drop back to old habits, and this is what we have to refresh, and we refresh this week again and again.
Are you the sort of manager, you know, in what has been sort of a bit of a leaner, tougher time, you know, over the last few weeks? Are you the sort of manager to take advice from whoever it might be, Hansi or people that you've worked with before? You pick up the phone and...
Yeah, I'm always open-minded for things. I have not at the moment a guy who gives me advice what we should do. But of course, at first I ask questions by myself, and I ask, okay, because I'm not happy when we didn't win from the last 5 games. We didn't win a game. Then I'm looking. Then I think there are reasons why. Then I'm looking for solutions. And then I will continue to work. What I not will do at the moment is to make question about the last 18 months. I think there's a reason why we are on this point. There's a reason why we achieved the goal to stay in the league very early. And maybe there are also a reason why we are dropping in the last couple of weeks. And again, I come back, look to the whole season. We played 42 match days, and at the end it's 2 or 3 games who decide in which direction we are. And this is really crazy to see. This is not the big picture, but this is at the end. It's about 3 games, and we will say, What if? Yeah.
Talk about some young players then. Pierce is obviously a shining light in this period. He's made some good saves. Do you see him? There's no doubt that he should be Sheffield Wednesday #1 next season.
Yeah, you work very hard, and if you continue this way, how you worked, I think that is also the reason why I put him in the goal now, to see how far he is. I think there's a difference between play a cup game or play every week or every 3 days again and again on the highest level. Don't forget this. This is also for a goalkeeper, especially for a goalkeeper, for the mindset, for the brain. Is not easy when you have to continue. You can play 2 good games in the national team and then you have 4 weeks off. Then you are fresh. This is much easier. Or you have every week, every 3 days the pressure. If you make a mistake, then there is something. And I think this is good. This is helpful now for him to have these games. And he showed in moments that he is in a really good way.
We've all sort of waxed lyrical about his distribution, and he's shown that he's a good shot stopper. And what are the things that he can still improve on? He's obviously still a very young player.
Yeah, I think the decision making. I think all the things play into. He's fantastic. Sometimes also the balance between when you have to play behind, or then into. That you have more tools, but all in this, I think the decision making is good. Coaching, I think it's important. How I coach my back 4 or back 5, because if they make a good job, then I have not to do so much. This are also things. This is also things what I demand in the small side of the game, that you always active as a goalkeeper. I think what I like is that he's on front foot, passes through the gaps. He's always there. And of course he has to take his defenders around him to protect him, especially with set pieces and so on. This is then a part, but it's also a team performance.
I wanted to ask about a very young player. There's been some talk about him in the last week or so. Bailey's brother, Caelan, clearly a very, very young player. I mean, how much are you aware of him and how he's going about things? Yeah,
I saw him sometimes now, and I know he is excellent talent for high level. The shame is that he is too young at the moment. Otherwise, he will be in the trainings group and in the squad. But I think this is again a player. If you can bring him to the first team, you create values, and values means you can get money one day for such a player. I think this is important. And if you have Bailey brothers, Charles brothers. I think a lot of. I think for me it's just the only way for this club at the moment. Bring young players, improve them, take the money, sell them, improve the next one, and then you build up something. You can go in this direction, but this is not my decision. In which direction the club wants to go in this case.
Have you had any indication on that? Because we spoke about it with JD, didn't we? And clearly that is a decision for a big club strategy decision. Have you had any conversations to that with the club about which way they might go?
We're always in talks. I think this is then also the market. This is then the reason why we have to look after the season. What happens? Which decision making we can do? Which players we have to change? I think and I said this when I arrived, you need a new generation of players. That means then there comes a point you have to say goodbye to the experienced good players, but there is a time they have to go, and then you need spaces for young players. But it's also clear to achieve goals, you need a good balance between experienced young players, and the most important is that we have good players. It's not about the age, it's about the quality.
On Sean Facera, we've mentioned him a couple of times in passing, but he's managed to battle his way into the side at Carlisle. How much do you sort of watch his progress, and what does that say for him and his character?
Yeah, I met him. He was sometimes here in the training ground. Neil is looking for him in the details. This is good to have the conversations. No, I think a first loan is always or could be difficult. It's not the easiest one, and this is experience. And I think when he has a good pre-season, he could be a good player as well. And then you can count now how many young players you have. I think it could be next year you have 6, 7, 8 young players from your own academy or from good signs, and I think this is a good step forward to bring also the age down, because with the football what I want to play, you need physical strong players, and this is sometimes a little bit also with the age.
Yeah, sure. I know you said that you don't want to field questions about your future, till the end of the season. Now is not the time, perhaps. But it is relevant to this one. In terms of the contracts of players that are running out, how do those decisions form themselves, and when do those conversations start to take place?
Yeah, on the one side, I think I had meetings with the club, also with Kevin. I spoke about what is in my mind, what is my recommendation, what should the club do, what should we do in the summer, but then it's about, okay, what can we do? One thing is what you should do, and one thing is what you can do. And I think, in the next couple of weeks, you have to make decisions, and it's just 2 weeks to go. We know where we are, and of course, we should make then decisions. But the time will come where we can speak about all these things.
Sure. And lastly, what Stokers aside, what do you expect to see from them? As we said, there's a lot of jeopardy on this game for them.
Yeah, I think they developed, they improved. I think they, in the form table, they are not so bad in the last 5-6 games. I think it was a big win against Cardiff away to come closer to the big goal. Up and downs, I think they have quality players. I think the ambitions of Stoke was at the beginning of the season a little bit different. Maybe they didn't thought they play for stay in the league until the end. They have an experienced manager. It's a good side, and you know what it means to play at home, and you can make a step to 50 points. This is energy, and tomorrow there are 2 ways. We make a good game and we bring the atmosphere down and we control the game, or there will be a first, second, third wave from Stoke that will come, and the crowd will be there and we are under pressure. I think these 2 ways we will see tomorrow, and we should believe in our strength, especially away. I think we are very difficult to play away. We took a lot of points, and they will know this. We have weapons in front, but we needed 90 plus minutes, and then we can take something.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Alex.
Good afternoon, Danny. Good to see you.
Hi, Stewie. Hi, good. You?
Yes, good. Thank you. Just when you were talking earlier about the number of shots for the number of opportunities, what do you put that down to? Have you spoken to the players about it? Are you any clearer on why there's not more?
Yeah, it's one thing is the final pass or the pass before the final pass. It's about the first touch, where you take the first touch. It's also a little bit about be focused and concentrated for this action. But the last 20 meters in both boxes, it's always you can not so easier to improve these things. You can bring the players in this situation, and if you bring a group to 28 touches in the opponent box and to 15 shots, then it's not the worst thing. But at the end, 2 shots on target means the goalkeeper has just to make 2 saves, and this is 2 less. And I think this is what we have to improve. We worked on this, we had exercises this week, we spoke in the video about this, what I want to see. Yeah, it's about decision making. I spoke with some players individual. It's not just about scoring, it's also how is the assist, how be an assist and collect scorer points, and for this, right body position, decision making, deep runs, last line, adjust your position again and again. All small details, but you see, and we see this when I look the trainings back and the game back, how much work we have to do on this point in the future.
And on both that and the aggression you were talking about in the duels, to what extent, if any, do you think it's mental? Because obviously the equation's changed in the last couple of weeks in terms of the jeopardy, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's also the mindset. How can I explain this? When you heard maybe 10 years that you have to be secure, and the most important thing is that you're not overplayed and keep the distance, that you're not overplayed, and then you have to switch in 16, 17 months to a little bit different style of football with front foot defending and be not scared what is behind you because we protect our teammate. Then sometimes you drop back in this old happens and patterns, and I think this is at the moment, or you see this in some moments the game, and it's the reason why we can not play consistently about 90 minutes. We played 80 minutes, 85 minutes, also the individual performance. You have some players, they have great ball winning situations from in 10 actions, 8 times they have fantastic front foot defending, but in the last 2 actions they make mistakes and they lose the man, they are scared, they stay too far away, and then the opponent scored at the moment. And I think this is what we have to improve. Especially also then for the new season, to take this and try to get players that are also natural, very aggressive. They have this in the mind and they know this. And if you find such a players for my style of football, then it's a good way.
Does that, I'm not sure if this is true or not, does that feed into what you were saying before about younger players as well? You talked about them physically, but do you think they may be coached in a more aggressive way than?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a little bit like if your hard disk heard very often this direction, then it's hard to change the hard disk so quick. I think we changed a lot, and this is a big compliment to my players. Every age, every player here was open-minded for a lot of things, and I see their development. But I see then again that we cannot do this consistently on the highest level. And we speak in the championship, if you want to achieve more than we did this year, then you have to perform on the highest level again and again and again.
Have you noticed in the last couple of weeks since you said publicly a couple of weeks ago, didn't you, that the players were gone? Have you noticed any change in mindset from the players, either to be more relaxed or to be freer, or any change?
No, we go in every game like before, that we want to win this game. But I think the thing is the resilience during the game. And I think, look just back to this conceded goal against Oxford. How was our body language? Because if you got 5, 6, 7 setbacks in the second half of the season, and I think we got more setbacks than we got happy moments at the end of the game. We had this less. I think in the first half of the season it was a little bit 50-50. We had some setbacks, but there's some really good moments. But in the second half of the season, you feel this 1% goes a little bit in the other side, not to our side. And this is what it makes sometimes tough. And this is the reason why we speak now about 53 points and not about 60 points. And you see, this is about 2 games, or 2.5 games, what we missed at the end to achieve more.
And when you talked before about the heartbreaks and that sort of thing, do you think that this season sort of feeds into your home form, maybe last season your away form? Because when you're in a bad run, do you think it makes it harder mentally to believe that you can win games at home this season?
I'm honestly, when I look to this home games and you lead all the datas and yet in from this, I think 8 games, 7 times the feeling you should win, then it's for me sometimes really the momentum, and then you come a little bit to a point where, and this is maybe the part of our the 2 headliners for me of the season is a what if season and a little bit a season of contrast, because you see the home performance and the away performance, you see the defense and the offense, and then you see there is a gap, and to close this gap, you have to improve, you have to develop the squad, the players, the club, and then you can make the next step. But to make a step from last year to this year, I think for me is a huge step we did. Also compare with the teams around us, how long they are in this position in the table, what they invest also in the past. Don't forget this, it's not about blaming someone, it's reality. Our invest in the squad was this year I think around 4 million, and it is a huge step forward for us as a club, but there's still a gap open between the top 6, top 8 clubs, and this is what we try to develop and improve. And if you can do this as a club, then you can make on a long term the right steps for more.
Thank you very much for your time, Danny. Good luck at Stoke.
Thank you, Stu. See you. Bye.